Yeah, let me learn. And the longer I'm a truth student, the longer I'm a student of unity, the more I realize I have to learn. That I can, at the drop of a hat, forget these principles and stop doing the practices that have got me to this place. And part of it, we're going to do a series on this. It's because the lessons that I talk about in my course, Absolute Abundance, and that we know and teach in unity are around for all of us to know and see and practice and do and glean for ourselves, right? They're the lessons of life. This picture of all these petunias are from my deck, right? I just planted a couple plants and 2 months later, this is the beauty that I'm faced with every day, and I walk by it sometimes without seeing it, without acknowledging it, without knowing it. And there's more than one way. I mean, it's like I started walking around the city right up the street here, and the next block I was taking a walk, and this flower was growing over a fence, this beautiful Victorian house, and this incredible vine filled with beauty. And I was walking around my friend Mylea's house and ran across this wall of flowers. You know exactly where it is, don't you? Because it's like I turned the corner and it's just stunning. All the abundance, all the beauty, all the things that we can see but don't see, they exist. So I got the privilege and the honor of getting a vacation. And after COVID, I know we all needed it, right? And it was like, finally I felt like I was exhaling. And JD and the kids and I all went up to a lake house up at Lake Almanor, which I'd never been to before. It's this lake up in Northern California. And the gardener who was taking care of the grounds came by one day and said, "There's a bird's nest in the blueberry patch. Go take a look." And this is what was in the blueberry patch. The morning we left, I snapped this picture, and the kids and I watched every day as these birds grew. And when we'd come by, they think we were their parents coming to bring them food. And this is how they'd react. And what a gift of abundance, of just pure joy that I was able to provide the time and the space to teach my kids and to show them the reality of how life is created and birthed, right? And I got to remember it, right? Because it has been about survival for the past couple of months, right? And it has worn me down personally, but also, it's also lifting me up because there is so much that has been pent up that is ready to burst forth right now. And what I call this moment, these moments are moments of grace, right? And when I mean grace, it's like unearned good, right? I haven't done anything in particular to earn the blessings of that vacation, but it's a cumulative good that comes because of who we are. We are divine expressions of divinity here in human form, each radiating our own particular good, our own particular light, our own particular truth, so that each and every one of us brings a special color to the fabric of this existence. And just by that truth of who you are, the specialness of each and every one of you here, you are graced with abundance, and you get to see it and participate in it. There is no thing you have to do, no exact words you have to be. You just need to open yourself to it and look at all of the abundance around you. You know, my son, there's an oxymoron. He's his own child, right? He has taught us that from day one. He is his own child, period. And I get the joy of co-parenting with my husband to make that little bundle a full-fledged human being, right? Make him an adult one day. And what a joy to learn that from an infant, right? Rather than how I was taught, You had to do this, you had to do this to earn your good, to earn your place in heaven, to earn your favor with God. There is nothing that any one of us can do. There is nothing that you can do, that I can do, that any of us can do that could take away our divine blessing. Do you get that? There is no sin that you could do that could lose favor in the divine's understanding. And I don't want to say eyes because I'm tired of anthropomorphizing it, right? You are divine in expression, and all you need to do is show up. But it's so funny in our human existence how we lose track of that, and I lost track of it. As many of you know, recently Jay and I unexpectedly moved, like out of the blue. We were Friday afternoon, we finally get the kids to sleep, we sit down on the couch at our home here in San Francisco, I open my phone, on my Facebook page, there's a house. And I look at the house and it's stunning and it's beautiful, and I hand my phone to JD and he said, wow, we need to go see that. Right? And it was a friend of mine, an acquaintance from Unity in Marin, and she was selling her family's home. Her parents had built it 50 years ago. And we went up that Sunday. I wiggled us in because we didn't have pre-approval. We weren't planning on moving. We didn't have any of the necessary paperwork, but I talked my way in, and we got in, and we saw it on Sunday. The next day, on Monday, they told us offers were due on Tuesday. We called our bank immediately. JD, as you know from his talk a couple of weeks ago, doesn't have a job. He's self-employed at the moment. We amazingly, in a day, got pre-approved for this new loan, and we put in an offer on the house, and by Tuesday night, they had accepted our offer, and we were moving. And we were like, holy, fill in the rest of that sentence as you will. Now what? And so we moved out of our house in 3 days, and movers showed up that Friday. We moved into an Airbnb, and they got our house ready to sell. It was crazy. And I kept saying, and I wasn't visioning this. I wasn't on my vision board that we had a new house. I wasn't holding this vision. This just was out of the blue. And then I remembered I was constantly sitting at my kitchen table planning how to make an addition to our current house. And we had taken a trip to Singapore about 2 years ago to do some work together. And they put us in this palatial suite that had this grand master suite with a king-size bed, wall of windows that overlooked the beautiful gardens, a lovely walk-in closet, and full suite. And I kept drawing this major third-floor addition to our house. I would sketch out where the bed would go so we could see the views, everything. And the house we just bought has a major new bedroom that we're putting a king-size bed in. It has a walk-in closet. It has a master bathroom and palatial views. And I realized I had been visioning it. I had been visualizing it. I was lying to myself, saying I wasn't. Because part of me believed, we can't afford to move. Part of me believed the stories that it's too hard in the Bay Area to buy anything. Part of me believed the story that you can't get financing. Part of me believed the stories that somehow I had to do something different, or I had to have another job in order to be able to do this. Whereas the truth is that everything I do in my life is about helping others, right? That was what I've dedicated myself to. And the universe keeps a perfect set of books, folks. Perfect set of books. The good you give, whether it be in your time, in your talent, in your treasure, will always come back to you. It may not come from the people you give it to. I'm going to be really clear. That good may not come back to you where you give it, but it comes back to you because the universe, the divine, always has good for us. We move into this house, and I open the door. I walk in through the garage, and I open the front door, and this greets me. This little baby had decided that our front yard, which is on a hill, was its new resting grounds, and its mother had probably taught it that that's where they should be. And I was literally 10 feet from them, pulled out my phone and snapped this. And I love how curious this little one was, right? Okay, now I'm going to go. What that little child did, that little doe and fawn did, was claim dominion. No one had been living in our house for months, and they claimed that yard as theirs. And the gardens showed it. They had nibbled it all away. But they claimed it as theirs. They staked their dominion, right? And we all can do this when we claim our dominion. Those flowers on my deck, the flowers up the street, the bougainvillea over here, the flowers around the corner from Elia's house are all ours for the viewing and the taking. This is your dominion. This amazing room. Look at this. We saw it. We claimed it. It's ours. No matter what's going on with the city and the permitting and the financing of all this, this is ours. We own it, right? And because we had the vision and saw it. And you can do that in every aspect of your life. See your good and claim it. Don't have to have title to it. Claim it, even when it's scary, especially when it's scary, is when you get to claim it. There's really, in our culture, something that teaches us that it's not okay to daydream, like my sketching of what I thought the house should be. Daydreaming is an important function of our brain. It's what the kids are doing downstairs right now. They're imagining what could be. But somehow, as an adult, we decide that we can't imagine our good. It's not a productive use of our time to daydream, when it's actually the most efficient thing you can be doing. Imagine yourself in the job you've always wanted. Imagine yourself in the relationship, even if you're in one. We all have the other level of the relationship we want to get to, right? Or the deeper level to the relationship we want to get to. Do you spend time in imagining what that would be like? In imagining who you'd have to be? Who you would need to be to step into that? How big or how small you need to get? How much you need to relax and let go so that others can shine? The daydreaming is part of the process that creates what will be. Because first it happens in here before it can happen out there. I'm watching that unfold in my life right now. I'm watching it unfold in Katie's life right now. I met her beau. I met him, and I talked to her about it. And every baby step she's taken along the way has taken her closer and closer to the life of her dreams. And the life of her dreams is taking her away from a city she loves. And that's the bittersweet part of it. But also the part that we have to do. We have to say yes. JD and I, it was simple. We said, we'll put in an offer. We'll see what happens. We'll just take the next step. We'll see what happens. And the universe kept saying yes, right? And even when the rubber meets the road, and sometimes it is hard, sometimes it's painful, sometimes it's scary, saying yes to life. Saying yes to the possibilities of what you really want in your core. How many of us don't do what we really want to do because we're scared? Or because we're scared of what other people will think? Or we're scared we may fail? So what? So what? Every step along the way, there is always going to be something to pick us up. Every step, say yes. Say yes to your dreams. Say yes to your life. Be willing to take the risk, because in it is your good. There's a song that Katie's going to sing here in a minute. And in it, there's a line, if I can stop making her cry. In it, there's a line. She may just talk it. But in it, there is a line that says, when I remember that it was only fear and regret that held me down. That we can surrender to our greatest and highest good. That's going to be our meditation today. To hold the vision of who and what we can be. Hold the vision of the ultimate good of our lives or for the planet. Right? Hold the vision for the lives of this whole country. God knows it needs it right now. And have we been spending time holding the vision of a functional federal government? A functional city government would be nice too. But a functional government on any level. A functional medical situation for everyone in this country. Right? An understanding of medicine so that all of us can live safely and healthfully. We get to hold that vision here, and that's what the unity teachings teach us, and what it calls us to is something greater than we are right now. I know it's true for me, that unity keeps calling me higher, keeps calling me to be something bigger than I think I can be, bigger than I have been in the past. And that's why I love my job, right? And I don't get to sit back. I have to walk the walk and talk that I speak here to you on Sunday. And I have to and get to and love to learn. Let me learn. I can see it. I can see it. Let me internalize it. Let me learn it. Let me learn to be it.